If you live in Southern Oregon, you know there's always been a little bit of a rivalry between the two main cities, Medford and Grants Pass. There are residents in both areas who will swear up and down that their city is the clear-cut winner, and that's that. We're going to settle this debate with an objective look at the facts and pair that with my own real-world experience of living right in between the two cities for the last 30 or so years. But first, let's take a look at what's actually going on in this market in Southern Oregon with a quick market update. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Brian Simmons here with eXp Realty in Southern Oregon. It is November 9th, and I thank you for watching today. Listen, if you could do me a quick favor and just click on that like button, hit the subscribe icon, and share this video with anybody you know who's looking to buy or sell real estate here in Southern Oregon, I would really appreciate that. As of this morning, between Jackson and Josephine counties, single-family residential homes, we have 1,133 active listings on the market this morning. 60 new listings hit the market in the last 7 days, 102 price changes, 34 came back on the market, 70 went pending, 60 went closed, and 35 came off the market from being either expired, withdrawn, or canceled. That all brings us to a high of 18.8 weeks worth of inventory, which is the highest we've seen in quite a while. So that number of closed transactions is much lower than we've seen in a long time, okay? Only at 60. This time last year, we were still closing about 100 transactions a week, okay? So that is quite a bit lower. Is it an anomaly or a trend? I don't know yet. I think we're going to have to look at the next few weeks and kind of see how that plays out. Clearly, we have a lot of seasonality this time of year, and numbers do tend to decline. So the low number of closings from the seasonality is being compounded by the high interest rates. Another piece I'm going to be watching very closely is inventory. Inventory peaked at about 1,300 units back in August. We're at 1,133 today, so it took about 3 months to drop a couple hundred units, let's say. There's a chance that in another 3 months, maybe we drop another couple hundred units and we're sitting down below 1,000 units of inventory heading into the busier season where things tend to pick back up, which is February. If that happens and interest rates come back down into, let's say, the fives, I would say hold on, because we could be right back into a total buying frenzy. Will it happen or not? We don't know. But I'm just saying, if those things do happen and those stars align, it could align and become a very hot seller's market in the spring. I'll keep reporting on this data every single week, so make sure you hit the subscribe icon so you can be alerted anytime a new video comes out. Now, let's talk about Medford versus Grants Pass and which is a better place to live. And real quick, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in either one of these areas, check out my website, buyingsouthernoregon.com. Let's start with a look at some of the key data points from the U.S. Census Bureau, then we'll go into some of the other areas. According to the most recent Census Bureau data, Medford has a population of 86,000, and Grants Pass has a population of about 40,000. The employment rate in Medford is 54.6, and in Grants Pass is 52.7. That is just the percentage of the population who are actually employed. So a slight edge to Medford on employment. Median household income in Medford is higher at 63,700, and in Grants Pass it's at 46,580. So another edge to Medford. The predominant industry in both Medford and Grants Pass is basically the same at 26%, being towards the educational services and healthcare. Median age in both areas is pretty similar, but in Medford it's 41.6 years, in Grants Pass is 39.7. So Grants Pass is a little bit of a younger population. Population under the age of 18 is a little bit lower in Medford at 17.8% of the population versus Grants Pass is about 23%. So again, supporting the notion that Grants Pass is a little bit of a younger population. Can't really give an edge to either one there because it depends on what you're looking for. Diversity, I'm going to call that a draw because it's basically the same no matter which part you're at. Similar to weather. Okay, weather, they're so close together, Medford and Grants Pass, that it's hard to really distinguish between the weather being different in one versus the other. So I'm going to call weather a draw. On crime, bestplaces.net says that Medford is a higher crime area. So we're going to go ahead and give Grants Pass the win on that one. For schools, greatschools.org seems like the schools in the Medford School District better than the schools in the Grants Pass School District. So we're going to go ahead and give the edge to Medford on the schools. Now for some more personal preference type stuff. Let's talk about shopping. I live right in between Medford and Grants Pass, and I think we find ourselves and my family going to Grants Pass more than we do to Medford. Okay, so I almost want to give the edge to Grants Pass, but that's based purely on the convenience to myself. So the reality, though, is that Grants Pass has pretty much everything that Medford has, I thought, until I started to really go into the detail and think about what do I go to Medford for. And what brings me to Medford are stores like Sportsman's Warehouse, REI, Dick's, those are the places that you can't get in Grants Pass. There's not a good sports store in Grants Pass. There's not a good outdoors store in Grants Pass. There's small ones, small local ones, but not a place like Sportsman's Warehouse or REI where you can go get really specific stuff that's in a nice big store with people that know what they're talking about. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give the shopping edge to Medford. How about restaurants? When going out to dinner, my family tends to go to Grants Pass more than Medford. And that's because I think there's frankly better restaurants in Grants Pass than Medford. Medford probably has a wider variety of restaurants, but I think Grants Pass has higher quality restaurants. So we're going to go ahead and give the edge to Grants Pass on the restaurants. For things to do, it's hard to really give an edge to either one because there's so much stuff to do in both areas. What I would do is check out the video I created with a link right here for the things to do in Southern Oregon Winter Edition and check out some really cool stuff to do in both areas. But for the sake of this, I'm going to call it a draw. I think both areas have a lot of great stuff to do. Scenery, okay? Which area is just more beautiful? And I have to give the edge to Grants Pass in this one. The river runs right through it. You get to cross over it many times going through town. It's beautiful. The scenery there, I think, it's just better. And that's not a knock on Medford necessarily, because I think Medford has great scenery too with Roxanne and Table Rock and all that kind of around there. It is pretty as well, but it's not as good as Grants Pass, in my opinion. What about home prices? I did some research on current listings as well as past sales to come up with what I think are good average price ranges for a newer 3-bed, 2-bath style of a home that a lot of people will be looking for. And what I looked for is, move-in ready home between 1,1700 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, single story that was built within the last 15 years. Not new construction, but just kind of something that's in that range where we could get some good comparables. And what I found was that Medford, to buy something like that, you'd be looking at in the 450 to 475 range. And you could obviously find them above that or below that, depending on the neighborhoods that you're looking in within Medford. There's obviously, a big disparity between West Medford and East Medford on those types of prices. But overall, you could find a nice home between 450 and 475 in Medford for that type of a home. In Grants Pass, that same home would cost you about 425 to 450. So my observation there is that it's about a 10% discount in Grants Pass on the housing prices. So got to give the edge to Grants Pass on that one. Property taxes, kind of the same story. So for the same priced home, in the most cases, it was about 10% less on the property tax side of things in Grants Pass versus Medford. So if you had a $450,000 house in Medford and a $450,000 house in Grants Pass, the property taxes in Grants Pass were about 10% less. And again, that is something that varies from property to property, and it can differ. So that's not really much of an edge, but I will give the edge to Grants Pass in that because overall it is a little bit less. Now, the most important factor, which is the X factor, okay? I asked my 5-year-old, what city do you like better? Do you think Medford's better? Do you think Grants Pass is better? And he said Medford. Why? Because it's closer to the Family Fun Center. That was his answer, and it's true. The Family Fun Center is in Central Point, right next to Medford. And when you're 5, I guess that's what's most important. So, nod to Medford for the X factor. So, which is actually the best place to live? You're going to have to make that call for yourself, depending on what is actually most important to you in your specific situation. For me and my family, we picked somewhere right in the middle, where we could enjoy all the benefits that we really like about each one of the cities, and pick and choose which one we go to at the given time. If you'd like to talk about which parts of Southern Oregon may be the best fit for you, I'd be more than happy to chat with you. And I also suggest you check out the video that I created with a link right here where we review the best towns in Southern Oregon. Or if you'd rather, just shoot me a call or text at 541-954-7758. Don't forget to click the like button, hit the subscribe icon, and share this video with anybody you know who's looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern Oregon. And as always, if there's anything in the world I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. See you next week.